Time for your midday fix of facts and spicy sides.
From breaking headlines to backroom whispers.
All served hot and fresh. Hello there, I'm Monique Tuzon.
I'm Ferdi Salvador. Glad to have you with us.
And I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is the Daily Dish.
Yes, so it's going to be a happy Thursday for me especially. I don't know about you.
And
Exactly.
the women out there as well.
Yes.
Who do we have today?
We have three amazing doctors from Brovage, and we're going to be talking about men's health, but not regular men's health. We're not talking about cardiovascular diseases or anything like that. It's more of the intimate kind, the ones that men don't usually talk to each other about.
So it's basically a one-stop shop for men's health and wellness, particularly addressing male sexual dysfunction, right?
yes,
Something that
Something
I feel
like that.
we don't talk enough about.
absolutely.
Because most
It
of the
is-
time,
it's
wellness
legit.
clinics are like for women. So this is the first time I think it's just a one-stop shop, like you said, for men.
Yeah, because normally it's sort of taboo when it comes to men about to talk about it. For women, it's more open. But of course, we're gonna leave the mystery for later.
Yeah, you guys have to
And,
watch. All the camera guys are
correct,
They're so
and-
excited.
Correct. But guess what, ladies? We
What?
are proud to have another Filipino on the global stage. We've got Chef Miko Spears.
Yes.
A brilliant chef. Yeah.
Grabe, like I can't believe like how great the Filipino chefs are, and it's finally time that we're all recognized around the world.
I don't know what's happening with us because it seems like we keep talking about food and
Yeah.
and it doesn't help that our show's on a noon slot.
I know.
But I'm excited. I hope we get to talk to
He
Chef
was
Miko soon.
just on the finale of MasterChef Australia.
Australia.
Yes, and featured all over the place. It's super cool. And Mai, what's up
What?
with the Kardashians?
I was gonna ask you.
Oh, I know.
What's
Tell
up?
us the tea.
I heard Kourtney Kardashian is being criticized on parenting. I want to hear more about that.
She
from
basically took a
Monique.
photo with her kid on a boat without a life jacket.
Was it a moving boat?
It's a moving boat. So people are saying safety first. Like, why would you put your child in danger for a photo, right?
Well, I agree with putting your child's safety first before the gram,
Right.
Or before any social media.
Yeah,
post.
obviously.
You know. I mean, these people are global phenomenons, and any movement they make makes the
There's
headlines.
always,
right?
yeah.
So
I
This
don't
is,
know the whole story. I'm
right.
gonna wait until I get the facts first.
of course, like
Yes.
Mo and I are jumping
Yes.
into it immediately.
I know. So tell us the facts. We
All
got
right,
lots
but
of news today.
stay tuned for those stories. We have more on those stories as what Monique said later in the show. Time for today's headlines. The Senate holds its first hearing on online gambling amid calls to ban it. President Bongbong Marcos orders the blacklisting of some contractors in Iloilo behind failed flood control projects. Gilas Pilipinas bows out of the FIBA Asia Cup. And a Filipino pastry chef serves as guest judge for the finale of MasterChef Australia. The Senate holds its first hearing on online gambling amid calls to stop it. Hannah T is at the Senate. Hannah, what happened during the initial legislative inquiry?
The Senate is gearing up for a showdown against online gambling. In the first hearing led by Senator Erwin Tulfo, lawmakers laid out how the industry, legal or not, has been wreaking havoc on Filipino families. The Department of Finance reports that 60% of operations are illegal. Between September 2022 and August this year, nearly 12,000 illegal sites were identified. Over 3,000 are still active. Yet PAGCOR's gross gaming revenues shot up by 309% last year, reaching about 100 billion pesos, mostly from e-casinos and electronic games. Senator Joel Villanueva warns that this is already a national crisis as he cites cases of students in debt, families losing their homes, and crimes like fraud and robbery committed to pay off gambling losses. A 2023 survey showed 66% of Filipinos aged 18 to 40 and 57% of ages 41 to 55 have engaged in online gambling, many betting multiple times a week and up to 3,000 pesos per session. Senator Risa Ontiveros pushed for a ban on direct links between e-wallets or super apps and gambling sites, warning that 24/7 access has made it unlisugal with no safeguards. She also urged treating gambling addiction as a public health issue. This latest push comes after years of growing political heat on the issue. The Senate's first strong call for a suspension or ban came in early 2022 after the missing Sabongeros cases that put e-sabong under the spotlight. Subsequent moves zeroed in on Pogos last year, and only now is the Senate formally weighing a sweeping curb or even a total ban on all forms of online gambling, despite the fact that it wasn't mentioned in President Bongbong Marcos' SONA last month. The Senate is now looking at two paths, a total ban or stricter regulation. But based on their opening statements earlier, it looks like the Senate is leaning into a total ban of online gambling. Mai?
So, Hannah, so far, did they name any company or firm involved in massive online gambling operations?
Yes, actually, Senator Rodante Marcoleta, who pushes for a ban on online gambling, he name-dropped around 3 companies. First on the list is AB Leisure Exponent Incorporated, which is listed among the subsidiaries of the G Plus Interactive Corporation. It can be recalled that the GSIS was reported to have invested 1 billion in the G Plus. And this drew public attention since it's involved in the gambling industry to its subsidiaries, and it raised concerns among lawmakers on whether pension funds should be placed in gaming-related businesses. Back to you, Mai.
All right, keep us posted. Hannah, thank you for that report from the Senate. Explain yourselves. That's the call coming from House Deputy Speaker Ronaldo Puno to the BICAM after allegations of budget manipulation resulted in lesser funds for some government agencies, while there was a supposed boost in funds for the Department of Public Works and Highways. On BNC's On Point, on Wednesday, Puno said public funds should go where they are intended and people who use it for personal gain should be held accountable.
It bothers us that that is the number of people of that sort, that are in Congress. Not that there's anything intrinsically wrong in being contractor, but you're correct in that there appears to be a kind of conflict of interest, and especially if they do contracts for their own districts, because if they do that, that is clearly a criminal act.
Puno denied the lower house removed PhilHealth subsidy and cut DepEd funds in the 2025 budget, saying changes appeared only in the final GAA after the measure reached the Senate. He called for a probe into who made the alterations. The Senate has unanimously approved a resolution pushing for full transparency in the 2026 national budget. Now the spotlight turns to the House to act on the same call for accountability. Hannah T. returns with this story.
It's now up to the House of Representatives to act on the Senate's concurrent resolution for full transparency in the 2026 national budget. Senate Finance Committee Chair Win Gatchalian says some congressmen filed the same concurrent reso, but it hasn't been taken up yet.
Senate Concurrent Resolution number 4 is approved and approved unanimously.
The measure, backed by all senators, was adopted by the higher chamber and mandates Congress to upload key budget documents on their website. That includes the General Appropriations Bill, committee reports, amendments, BICAM reports, and transcripts. Next year's proposed national budget is at 6.793 trillion pesos, higher than this year's 6.352 trillion. Every change from the House version to the final report will be shown in a comparative matrix. Additions, deletions, and reallocations down to each program, activity, and project. All budget deliberations, from committee hearings to the BICAM, will also be live-streamed, a huge shift from what was once a closed-door conference meeting. Though not stipulated in the reso, Gatchalian had an agreement with Senator Ping Lacson that the Finance Committee chair should divulge who amended or inserted what when a colleague seeks to clarify the matter.
Not only the proponents of the individual amendments, but also the history and justification, Mr. President.
And their amendments as well.
And their amendments as well, Mr. President. So, because for me, what's very important here is the justification on that amendments.
This push for transparency comes after controversies over insertions, hidden allocations added outside plenary debate. The public will also get an online platform to submit feedback on proposed allocations.
We will probably assign a person there to scar through all the emails and all the feedbacks that we will be getting, Mr. President.
In his recent SONA, President Bongbong Marcos slammed flood control projects that may have been used for corruption. He warned he would veto any budget that did not match the official national expenditure program. Some senators earlier insisted the real problem with budget insertions and dubious flood control projects may not be in the Senate, but across the hall in the House. Hannah Tia, Billionario News Channel.
President Bongbong Marcos has moved to hold certain contractors in Iloilo accountable. He wants them blacklisted over flood control projects that failed to prevent and even worsened flooding. Let's get more details live from Ivy Reyes. Ivy, what can you tell us?
Upon inspection, President Bongbong Marcos has ordered DPWH to hold contractors in Iloilo liable and have them blacklisted for failed flood control projects. According to the president, these failed projects are behind the flooding situation in Iloilo. In a social media post on August 11, Iloilo City Mayor Raisa Peñas lamented 4 flood control projects that, according to her, never aided in the city's flood prevention measures. She also dropped the ball on Discaya-related St. Timothy Construction Corporation and Alpine Omega General Contractor and Development Corporation, which Treños claimed are not only non-functional projects, but even worsened their situation. This follows a call-out from Sara Discaya's rival, Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto, who has long advocated against the Discaya family's alleged anomalies. Mai.
Ivy, do we know how much these projects cost?
Well, from these 4 projects alone, the total project cost 575 million pesos, and the president personally visited flood mitigation project sections 9 and 10 in Iloilo as part of his crackdown on ghost and non-functional flood control projects. Mai.
All right, thank you. Ivy Reyes reporting. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia says the poll body may launch a Motoropio investigation into candidates who receive donations from companies with existing government contracts. He says they can do this once the evaluation of submitted statements of contributions and expenditures is completed. This comes after Senate President Cheese Escudero admitted receiving 30 million pesos during his 2022 campaign from Lawrence Lubiano, president of Center Race Construction and Development Incorporated, one of the DPWH's top 15 favored contractors. Garcia says he does not want to preempt any investigation that may be undertaken, but according to him, receiving donations from contractors with existing government projects during the campaign period violates certain provisions of the Omnibus Election Code. If proven guilty, the concerned personality may be held liable for an election offense which could carry a penalty of 1 to 6 years imprisonment. Quezon City is bidding farewell to the so-called Mount Kamuning footbridge 2 months after President Marcos ordered its replacement. Construction of its new version officially begins today. Let's talk to Andrea Salve for an update. Andrea, go ahead.
Quezon City is saying goodbye to the infamous Kamuning footbridge, also dubbed as Mount Kamuning,
2 months after President Bongbong Marcos personally ordered its replacement. Officials from the Transportation Department and Quezon City local government visited the site this morning to mark the groundbreaking ceremony of the construction that will begin today. The new structure will serve as the entrance and exit of the GMA Kamuning busway station, easing commuters' burden of having to walk up and down the train station to get to the bus stop. Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon promises to finish the project by December this year. He assures the commuting public using the EDSA busway that besides minor adjustments, the bus flow won't be affected by the construction. Detours will be scheduled during off-peak hours. The agency had earlier opened its bidding process for the new Kamuning Footbridge project with a budget allocation of 86 million pesos. Mai?
Andrea, what factors were considered in this new design?
The new design, according to Secretary Dizon, is fully compliant to the mobility and accessibility standards. It includes 1 elevator in each side and a wheelchair lift for senior citizens and persons with disabilities. Mai?
All right, thanks, Andrea. The government aims to try and address budget concerns for children's programs as the country grapples with various issues regarding the youth. Paolo Barcelon joins us on the phone from Quezon City to dish out the details. Hello, Paolo. What can you tell us?
Good afternoon, Mai. The government has launched its Child Budget and Expenditures Tracking Tool, or CIPET, in a bid to identify, tag, and monitor budget allocations and expenditures for children at the LGU level. Council for the Welfare of Children Executive Director Angelo Tapales says the aim of the program is to ensure proper funding and support for necessary programs that protect children, such as funding for child welfare, nutrition, and health. The program is funded by the European Union and the UNICEF through the EU UNICEF Public Finance Facility, and Tapales adds that the launch of the program is timely as the country is set to tackle its budget priorities and in line with recent issues on school violence. Mental health, he says, is among the programs that local governments should prioritize. Mai?
All right, Paolo, just to pivot on one of the hot topics today, I understand Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong is there. What is the tea on the allegations that he has made on questionable flood control projects? And did Malacanang already reach out to him?
Well, we did speak earlier before the start of the program to Mayor Magalong, and he told the media that no one has approached him yet when it comes to allegations that he had presented. He had repeatedly said and stressed that he's just waiting on someone either from the House of Representatives or Malacanang to invite him. But we kind of got a little bit curious, Mai. We asked him if he's open to becoming appointed as part of government, even though he currently is serving as Baguio City's mayor. He said he's open to advising the government about corruption policies or anti-corruption policies or corruption programs in the different projects. But right now, he says he's focused on his third and last term as the local chief executive of Baguio. And just to pivot back to the topic of today's forum where he attended, some of the concerns that he identified that he is still trying to address in Baguio City are children in conflict with the law, as well as recent issues on bullying. Both concerns, Magalong says, are being handled by the LGU well and truly sorted, Mai.
All right, did he dish out any information on what kind of a role, if any, will he play in the investigation that we hope they are going to launch into these questionable projects?
Great question, Mai. Well, we also tried to ask Mayor Magalong about it. He says he's open to attending hearings. He's just waiting on formal invitations to him from the House. But he said he's really open to working in an advisory capacity, trying to advise the president or other senior officials in terms of what they can do when it comes to their anti-corruption programs. Because as a local chief executive himself, Magalong says he's open really to just giving advice for now and probably identifying the project that he had been talking to the media for quite a while now. So we'll get more clarification about that role, because I think in just a little while we will be having another interview opportunity either with him or with Budget Secretary Amina Pangandaman. Mai.
Right. Good to hear from you, Paolo. Thanks for the update. Cautious optimism in Anchorage, Alaska, which is hosting a summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin this Friday. The talks are aimed at ending Russia's more than 3-year-old war on Ukraine. While Ukrainians in Anchorage welcome this, they're also wary of any false hopes. Some even doubt if Putin will actually show up.
A lot of people have expressed doubt. A lot of people said that they have mixed feelings, but with everyone that I have spoken, they all have hope on top of all of the feelings and all of the questions and all of the anger and other feelings that they may have. Everyone said, but I have to have hope that something will come out of it because we need something.
It is pretty big news, and it is a step forward compared to what we've seen before, but I'm still cautiously optimistic, I'd say. Of course, I really want the war to be over and for the bloodshed to be stopped, but I keep my expectations low.
Tensions on the Korean Peninsula appear far from over, despite the South's peace overtures. North Korea has rebuffed moves by Seoul to ease cross-border tensions, calling them a pipe dream. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung has expressed willingness to return to dialogue, but Pyongyang has repeatedly vowed to permanently break off ties with Seoul. The two countries are technically still at war, as the Korean War, which took place in the early 50s, ended with a truce.
Sadly, it's game over for Gilas Pilipinas in the FIBA Asia Cup. The Philippines lost to tournament favorites Australia in the quarterfinals Wednesday night, 84-60. The Boomers were just too good and too much for Gilas. Tournament top scorer for Gilas, Justin Brownlee, was held to just 10 points, while Kevin Kiambao stepped up with 17 markers. Gilas head coach Tim Cohn was critical of his team's performance, but acknowledges Australia's superiority.
I really like our
A meeting between champions in Manila as Boston Celtics star Jaylen Brown rubs elbows with boxing Hall of Famer Manny Pacquiao. The 2024 NBA champion shared moments of his meeting with the former senator on social media. Brown and Pacquiao swapped signed game-worn shoes and boxing gloves. They even had a stare-down. The two also faced off in an impromptu chess match. Brown was in the country as part of his Asian tour.
Okay, bestie, talk about the ultimate Swiftie moment. Our queen Sabrina Carpenter is straight up losing her mind after Taylor Swift announced her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. And guess what? Sabrina is featured on the title track, Truly Iconic Behavior. She posted a track list in her IG stories and was like, I know someone who's freaking out, and it's me. She also threw it back with some cute snaps from the Eras tour, where she opened for the show. Mark your calendars. The Life of a Showgirl drops October 3rd, and we are already crying glitter. And other news, Filipino pastry chef Miko Spears just cooked up a storm on the global stage. He was the guest star judge for MasterChef Australia Season 17 finale, where contestants had to recreate his stunning dessert masterpiece called The Botanical Garden. This edible work of art has 149 steps and took almost 5 hours to make, with truffles, mousse, calamansi foam, and even aloe vera spikes. Talk about next level sweets. Spears, a celebrated pastry chef in his own right, has been based in Sydney since 2019.
Up next, we'll speak with the experts behind Manila's first luxury men's health clinic. The Daily Dish will be right back.
Welcome back. You're watching The Daily Dish. Now, there's a new wellness clinic focusing on men's health issues. Let's talk to the men behind this facility, Brovage CEO and the leading expert in sexual dysfunction, Dr. Frederick Mendiola. We also have Dr. Zhijian Teo, Singapore trained in aesthetic medicine, overseeing the clinic's public relations, and Dr. Alan Tan, an expert in men's sexual health. Welcome, gentlemen, to the Daily Dish.
This is such a cool day for me, Mai, because
Ferdi will be so happy.
Because there's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to men's health.
And like I said, we don't talk about these things enough. Same with menopause for women, right? And I'm so happy we get to talk about these issues today.
Yes.
So first of all, tell us about this new technology that you are offering. For couples, they say couples who've been married 20, 30 years will feel like they've been married for the first time, or they feel like they're newlyweds.
Are you excited about that?
Well, I mean, first of all, just want to thank you guys for having us here.
Thank you for being here.
Brovage is a men's clinic, right? So as it is, it's actually called Brovage because it's called Brothers Vitality with Age. All right, so that's why we call it Brovage. We specialize, right? Our team specialize in making sure our fellow men, our bros, are well taken care of.
Yes, it's our turn, Dr. Teo. It's our turn, right?
So we have treatments like whenever we reach a certain age, like when we get to 40s. Right, testosterone starts to go down.
Yes, that's important, Dr. Z.
Very important.
Because, not a lot of people know, but just like women, there is menopause. Men have what you call, Dr. Eric?
It's called andropause.
Andropause.
Okay.
And what
it's
is it about?
like a male menopause. It starts at the age of, when we reach the age of 40, testosterone levels will naturally go down. Okay, so it's like a gas tank of a car. So you cannot do anything about it. It will go down, and definitely it will have an effect on the patient.
So what effects are like immediate? Because Dr. Z and I are not there at that 40 yet. So I heard that you slow down physically, like even motor skills. You kind of slow down. You don't get as much muscle mass. Is that correct? You lose hair.
Yes.
Your skin becomes less elastic. Are those the?
So testosterone is basically the male sex hormone.
Yes.
Okay. It has an effect on you're right, the hair, the muscles, and of course the cognitive function of the patient, and mostly the sexual function of the patient. So if it goes down, all these functions will be affected also.
So, Doctor, talking about male sexual dysfunction, it involves a wide variety of issues, right? Like libido, erectile dysfunction. So at what age does this usually begin? Because you mentioned andropause.
On the average, at around 50 years old, especially in patients who has diabetes.
Yes.
Okay, you will start.
But sorry, doctor, I just want to go back. I know that that's a very important question because we're going deep now, okay?
For real.
But I just got sorry, Mai, but I just got interested in what can we do about testosterone, because I guess that's also the prelude, Mai, to going into dysfunctionalities, right?
Yeah.
Of the male physique kind, if you don't mind.
Yes.
So first we have to check the levels of testosterone of the patient, okay? The free and total testosterone, that's very important. And if we determine that if it's low, so we have to replace it, okay? There
And how do you replace
different modalities that we can do. I mean, we start with daily application of gel or cream. That's one modality. But most of my patients would go for the injections. Okay, we can go every 3 months of injection, or as often as every week. So it depends actually on the patient.
And how long is this process?
It can, can be as long as the patient, as long as the patient needs it.
Oh, okay, so it's not just like 3 months, 6 months, a year?
No,
It goes on forever?
yeah. I mean,
It can go on.
Yeah,
It
as
can
long
go
as
on for a
the
lifetime.
patient needs the replacement.
Okay, and maybe perhaps because it depends on what they need. No, and Dr. Allen, like for example, I want to build, body mass, so I need a longer therapy.
Yeah, as we age, we lose our muscle mass, so we also need testosterone for that.
So there are so many options that we're learning about, like not only pills and lotions, like you said.
That's important because every morning, every time Mai and I sit together, we're like, okay, sweetie, dry skin now.
Yes,
you know I won't have dry skin anymore because
Same
I'm
with
using gel.
for men.
Yeah.
You have to also take care of your skin, and it all boils down to hormones. Still, yeah,
Yes.
they play a huge factor.
That's interesting. I mean, this is so cool because obviously now you've got Brovage and it's your own, right? So, of course, you and your wife are very famous in the aesthetic world, but at least now you've got your bro, your bro project, right?
Yes.
Now, let's go to what Mai had actually asked before I rudely interrupted that question was erectile dysfunction, right? Dr. Allen, thoughts on erectile dysfunction and when does it start?
Well, I think it's supposed to start, like Dr. Eric says, when you are in your 40s or 50s, but we're increasingly seeing younger patients having erectile dysfunction problems.
Is this on a epidemic level?
Well, I think a few factors.
Okay.
One, there's the actual problem, and then two, people are realizing that, this thing can be fixed. But we have to get to the root of the problem, and that's what Dr. Eric will deep dive into.
The problem with us here in the Philippines is that there are a lot of silent sufferers. We call that. Okay, like 85% of men who suffer from erectile dysfunction will not, consult, will not tell their peers because of maybe they're shy to admit that they're suffering from that. And of course machismo. So that's a problem. That's the problem that we want, the stigma that we want to, by education and by doing.
So you can overcome that. Dr. Z, do the patients that go to your clinic for these dysfunctions have a hard time going in and talking about it?
Oh, yeah. I think Brovage was really introduced simply because I saw the need. There are a lot of men who are silent sufferers, as what Eric is saying, and they really do not want to say anything, but they do have issues, right? So we really want to create a clinic where there is technology, right, as well as cutting-edge medicine, right, that can be given to them in a very discreet place, right, and safe. So that we can solve their problems for them.
Yeah, because you need to have confidence. I mean, if you lose that function, Mai, obviously, if you can't perform at your earlier years, then you cause problems, mental wellness. You can't perform. Let's say in the office or in public spaces because in the back of your mind. You're like, oh gosh, I might have to, to deal with something in the evening wherein my partner expects it, right? But you can't talk about it.
There's such a thing as performance anxiety.
Performance anxiety, yeah.
Yeah, wherein it's like if the patient experiences difficulty in getting an erection, it will go to his mind, and he will, have an anxiety about it. So the next time he doesn't want to do it again because anxiety is already there.
And also, does body image come into play?
Yeah.
Does therapy help in any way?
Definitely. If we do something about their anxiety, about the performance, if we can enhance it, then they will have confidence again, and eventually they'll live a normal life.
Which makes it super logical. Well, we're super serious about our topic today. It makes it logical because if you got andropause and then you cannot perform, ergo you tend to have, you're more hot-headed and impatient than you would on a regular basis, and then that puts a strain in the relationship.
So the next time you know it, you're not having the activity for the longest time. I mean, the desire gets affected, everything gets affected, even the intimacy part
Right, but
between
then
partners.
but also in the deeper sense, that can also lead to other health issues, right?
Exactly.
Such as perhaps, and you're the experts, Dr. Eric, Dr. Allen, Dr. Z, about, like, for example, prostate cancer. It may lead to something like that, right?
Well, sex equals longevity and quality of life. I always say that in my lectures. And of course, if you're living a happy life, you'll stay away from this long-term illnesses.
And I'm sure that you've already had patients who are now living their normal lives, with better attitudes and a skip to their heel.
I'd like to pivot to one of the emerging techniques or technologies out there to address one of these issues that men encounter in their later years or perhaps in their younger years. Who wants to say it? The exciting new procedure that you're offering.
I'll say it. I'll totally say it. It is enhancement of the genitalia. Okay?
We call it very simply the power fill.
The power fill.
That's it. Yeah, it says it as it is.
Is there a demand among Filipino men? And what procedure do they prefer? Is it injection? Is it an implant? Is it?
No, Dr. Eric.
Well, we're using power fill, which is a new material coming from Korea. It's a biostimulator, which means it stimulates collagen formation. It's relatively new, but it's very, very effective. And it produces girth enhancement and as well as lengthening of the male genitalia.
Is it like stem cell?
Well, it's not actually a stem cell. It's like fillers.
Okay, it's like fillers. So it's a synthetic biostimulator.
It's a biostimulator wherein it creates a natural look.
But it's non-surgical.
It's non-surgical.
It's just injection.
And doctor, I want to know, when your male patients come to you for consultation, do you get the female perspective? Because, we have to ask, what do women really want?
You will,
what do women want, right?
You will be surprised, Mai, that most of the patients will be booked by the partners.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
You know what? Earlier when we were discussing you gentlemen coming on the show, Mai was like, I don't want to ask questions, but guess who's leading? It's not. And I'm glad, because these are real questions.
Yes.
But of course, we need to save some more interesting topics.
We're warming up already.
We're warming up because after this, I'm gonna ask because I'm not shy.
We have to pause for a break, guys. The Daily Dish. We'll be right back.
And you are back on the Daily Dish. We are still talking about men's health issues, and
men's health and wellness, important topic today.
1,000%
going back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, because hey, more is more, right? I'm gonna deep dive into this now because I personally want more is more, because I'm not shy about it. Any enhancement that makes me feel good and makes me, walk in the beach with, cool abs and looking at people and saying, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? It's for my confidence. So I'm open to this, right? But what are the short and long-term risks or perhaps complications that we may expect from this? Or are there any?
Funny thing you said that, because it's actually statistically correct what you're saying. Because there has been a ranking, right, in terms of size, right, among the different countries, and maybe you want to guess where Philippines and the Southeast Asian countries are.
I'm sure we're a little bit on the equator.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is a demand, right, for it right now, and as you said, more is more, and now that we have the technology, right, for us to do the increase in the size and the girth, just using simple injections, right? I think it's the demand is really increasing. But people need to know that it's possible.
Right, they have an option.
Yeah, because last time people only thought that they can only do surgery.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Which makes people very scared.
Right.
Right. But right now it's not. It's a 30-minute procedure. It's a lunchtime procedure.
Let's go.
Talking about what I want to know is, are these procedures regulated by the health department or any licensing body?
Yes.
Well, it's an off-label treatment right now because not everybody's using it, doing it.
Well, you pioneers here, no?
Yeah. We've been lecturing about it all over Asia.
But the product itself has FDA approval.
Yeah.
Right, so...
of course, you wouldn't be here either.
we use only the FDA approved products.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we now, because of our audience, I'm sure the wives are saying, hey, honey, guess what? There is an option for you, right? Dr. Allen?
That's correct.
Yeah, so, okay, you said it's a 30-minute procedure. How do you prep for something like this? Dr. Allen?
Oh, I'll just...
Or Dr. Eric?
Yeah, it's just, we just apply cream for anesthesia. Sometimes I put local anesthesia, and then we prepare the material that's going to be used and inject it for only for 15 to 20 minutes.
And how long does this last?
It will, actually, that's a good question. This is because all over the world, hyaluronic acid fillers are being used. But here in our clinic, we're using a different material, which has the real good potential because it lasts for 3 to 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and sometimes you need to do touch-ups, but on the average, it will last for 3 years. Unlike HA fillers, which is 1 year, maybe, to 1.5 years.
So it means to say if I go over for lunch, but I can't because we've got the daily dish. After lunch.
Go after lunch.
I won't have to see you in 5 years.
Well, you can see us with a different,
different
problem.
enhancement, probably.
I hope I don't have any other problems because these issues are real, and this is why we invited the 3 doctors so that our audience out there know that it's no longer taboo.
Yes.
You need to enhance your self-confidence because this is super, super important. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, right?
Yes.
Doctors, prior to this interview, I took a deep dive to learn more about this. There's lots to learn on YouTube and Google. What I found out is people are talking about shrinkage. And does it happen with age?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It does. I mean, naturally, the male genitalia will shrink as you age. Probably, because of different.
How much of it shrinks? How?
Yeah, I'm interested. How much will I shrink?
Well, because the male genitalia, of course, is made up of skin, made up of muscles. So these muscles will start to deteriorate, get smaller over time. So there is a little bit of a shrinkage. There's, of course, the skin portion of it as well. You lose collagen, right? And so the collagen as well, if you lack of collagen, the skin will start to look a little bit old and crappy as well. So there is a significant amount as age goes by for there to be a bit of a shrinkage. So we do a lot of different treatments to improve that.
And to address it earlier on before it happens.
There are interesting treatments such as Scrotox, right?
Wow,
which is
it's like Botox for
it's like Botox for the skin around the area to make the skin smoother, right?
Dr.
I see glitter in your eyes. Yeah?
Because I get Botox anyway. So
Botox now.
Really?
There is so much treatments that you will not believe. It's amazing.
Let's go.
Is this a myth or a fact that you lose an inch for every 30 pounds that you gain?
Yeah, I think. That can
Wow,
be.
mine.
Yeah, we can also do some lipolysis in the suprapubic area. Yeah, because
But how true is
What's
that?
lipolysis?
it's true. I mean,
true.
you
You have liposuction in the area.
Yeah, just on top of the
Also,
male genitalia.
if you've got a little bit of a punch, right?
And you will see some improvement in the length also with that because fat can also hide the male genitalia.
I am impressed with your research, Mai.
Well,
but
that's
this
what
is
you have
cool
to do.
Because Mai, at least, is coming from a female perspective, so that it
Correct.
doesn't make men uncomfortable. And I'm glad you're doing that.
It's why we're here for. It's
can
why
use
we're doing this,
aqualicks
talking about these
for the
things.
suprapubic.
Now let's talk more about
It's a
the
perception,
safety and regulation of these procedures. Are there any known cases of malpractice? Not necessarily here in the Philippines.
Yeah, I think if you do your research and you look into it, there are a lot of cases where non-licensed doctors will inject things like silicone, paraffin into the male genitalia
my goodness.
and cause
And
permanent
worst case scenario.
yeah permanent
What is
damage.
it? Oh.
Right, it's deformed.
Yeah, is
Right.
that
Formation that's
is
carried.
that adding to why men don't talk about it? Because that's a fear. Like, what if you mess up and then I'll be forever? Because if you're not going to proper licensed doctors,
Yeah, that's
and they're
why
putting all these.
That's why
materials
in Brovage we do a lot of research. We do a lot of
Yes.
training for us to be able to offer the patients the best.
And I'm sure you've got a lot of satisfied customers. How did they come out of the clinic after their procedures? What have they given you testimonies on, like, docs? Wow, this is what I'm going through now.
They don't. I think guys don't like to say too much, but I think the smile says it all.
What about feedback from the wives?
Yeah, feedback.
They love it.
They're happy too, I guess.
Because of course, they say happy wife, happy life. Now, happy husband.
Yes.
What can we add to that?
Happy husband, happy
Happy
wife.
wife.
Everyone's
And happy life.
That's all. Everyone's happy.
So how do you see, in terms of normalizing these conversations and these issues, how do you see public perception evolving in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think this space is going to be really interesting because in other countries like the States and Europe, it's very open, right? But of course, being in the Philippines and Asia, we're a little bit more conservative. But I think this space is going to open up, right? And I think Brovage is going to be the one that's going to kind of lead the way to have real conversations, right, between men and between all of us, right? Saying, hey, they have real issues. Right, diabetes is one thing. It's massive, right, around the whole country. Diabetes.
That's absolutely alarming because
and
the
diabetes
complications.
gives complications of erectile dysfunction, and that's a medical fact. And as doctors, we will have to help to try to first control the diabetes, and then control and improve the side effects of it, which is erectile dysfunction. So I think, as people start to realize that this aspect of medicine is actually very real and is actually very legitimate, people will start not to get scared to talk about it.
Right. That's very interesting, Dr. Taya. We want a message from each of you. Dr. Eric, what can you say to our male viewers out there so that they don't get scared or they have the confidence to come out?
So to the silent sufferers, just be open about your problems. I mean, sex is very important in the life of the individual. We only live once. And we have to be open with our problems. Just go to us, go to the doctors, and we have a lot. I mean, a lot of things to offer to you. It's not the end of the road.
Dr. Allen?
I think treatment can be customized to the patient's individual needs now. And come to us so that we'll work something out for you.
And Dr. Z, how do you want to smash this taboo?
Well, I think let's just be open about it, all right? Let's be real. And Brovage is here to help all you guys out there to have a safe space. And just come and check us out.
And thank you so much, gentlemen, for making sure that, this conversation is now open.
Yes, thank you. Thankfully, also, these issues, men's health, male sexual dysfunction, abnormal function, we're learning more about these things.
And the effects
these
of diabetes.
things, yes, are better understood medically
Yes.
as well,
Yes.
more than ever.
That's right. That's right.
Well, we're very excited, and I'm sure you got somebody over here in the panel will pay you a visit.
Your 10th customer today, maybe. Thank you so much again,
you.
gentlemen,
Thank
for
you.
coming over. And we've got more stories for you after this very short break. The Daily Dish will be right back.